Hi everybody, it's Dick here. Today I'm looking at the BMW R9T Scrambler. This model has the knobby tires that you'll find on the new R9T Urban GS. Otherwise, it's your box standard Scrambler. There's no denying that this is an attractive motorcycle with its tan saddle, its brassy 2-to-2 high-sided exhaust, the semi-gloss graphite paint, and the spoked wheels. However, it's so pretty it's almost off-putting. But let's see if the prom queen would fancy a dance.
So I'm on the new Ducati Scrambler. Oh wait, no I'm not. I'm on the BMW R9T Scrambler. Who would have guessed? It rides a lot like the Monster I used to have. Feels a bit like a mini bike. And it's very sporty. You lean forward, your ass is out. You kind of got an arch in your back like a Playboy model. It sounds mean, it feels mean, it's rumbling underneath you. The tank isn't as much of a child molester as the Ducati Monster is, but you're humping this thing. It's a cool bike, you feel cool on it. I'm sure I look like an idiot, but I don't care. My first Boxer engine, and the rumble is just so cool. It just kind of goes back and forth. It doesn't go back and forth, it goes side to side. Seat height is good. I'm flat-footed on the ground. I have a 31 and a half inseam, and without being uncomfortable, I actually have a little bend in my knee, and my feet are flat on the ground. I don't like how lean forward I am, and I don't like how straight my elbows are. So a little more upright would be a little more comfortable for me. But for this kind of urban heritage retro bike, whatever they call it, it's a good stance. My knees are a little higher than I'm used to as well, so I'm kind of scrunched into a ball. Filtering's all right. Handlebars are a bit wide. I like all the round bits. I like the round headlight. I like the round single speedo display. I like the round side view mirrors. It's got power. This is a 1200 Boxer, oil cooled. This is the GS engine, the 1200 Boxer engine that was used on the GS until they upgraded the whole line of Boxer engines to be liquid cooled. So this is tried and true technology. I like this Boxer engine. Can lean into the turns. It's low. I like how low it is. Hydraulic clutch feels a little heavy at the lever. You know, it's another one of those bikes where you probably get tired if you're going to be pulling the clutch in all the time. The gearing is really nice. You're not in between gears. You're not wondering what gear to be in. There is no tack on it, so you're really just relying on the noise of the engine, which is how I learned to ride motorcycles. There's a lot of vibration in the handlebars at idle, and I think it's down to the side-to-side Boxer engine. But it feels really cool. It feels like you're riding a motorcycle. The thing about these kind of scrambler bikes and these naked, sporty bikes is that when you're riding on them, you feel like you're kind of over the front wheel, or you can't see the front wheel, where there's a good rake out the front of this. The handlebars come back to meet you, and the forks sweep out in front of you, just enough to know that there's a motorcycle in front of you. And that is reassuring on these smaller bikes. The seat's hard, and in this position I can see my lower back getting some twinges and discomfort. There are 2 spaces on these instrument clusters on the handlebars that looks like there's cutouts for some extra features, and I wonder what those features are. You can turn the ABS and traction control off. This button here on the GS would have a coilover spring for the adjustability of the suspension. So I'm wondering if there's another feature for the downward push of that button as well. So there's about 3 more buttons potentially of getting some features on this bike that I don't know if they're not included or if it's just that they're sharing these instrument clusters from another bike. It looks to me, yeah, this is a cable actuated throttle as well, which is why you're getting that immediate response in the I can't get over that ass kicking out. It's just I'm having a moment here. Just excuse me while I have a moment with my German lady. I'm falling in love with this bike the more I spend some time with it, and I think the reason I'm falling in love with this bike is that it's seducing me sexually. Anyway, throttle is cable actuated, which I like. The longer motorcycle companies can hold on to the tested mechanics that make motorcycling unique and fun, the better it is for us riders. One of my concerns about this bike and the ergonomics and the stance is the wind buffeting against your chest. And you know, it's there, but it's not nearly as bad as some of the cruisers that I've ridden. There's only one other bike that's made me smile as much on a test ride, and it's the Royal Enfield that I bought. And if the R9T Scrambler or the Urban GS cost the same as a Royal Enfield, I'd have 2. I think the only thing that would stop me from buying this bike is probably how much it costs. BMW could have easily just repackaged any of the bikes it had in its history, but it hasn't done that. It's commented on its past, but quite deftly created something new. And it's done so with a competence and a desire to make a new mark for itself. You know, a lot of people think it's a response to Triumph's rebirth, its renaissance. And, you know, you can't deny that it is. It obviously is a response. But the way they've done it is elegant. This is a bike that I would have and had easily dismissed as a fad, as something that wouldn't be worthwhile. You know, something that's following a trend, that's quickly put together, not thought out, overpriced. But man, I am converted. This bike is cool. Most of us want adventure bikes, and we're not going to be doing adventures. We want big tourers, but we can't get away to do a tour. Most of our riding is weekend riding, pleasure riding, and the occasional ride with the wife or the girlfriend or the boyfriend. As a city bike, as a weekender, this is probably the bike that we all should be riding. You know, it's informal, it's elegant, it's cool, it's classy. You feel like it's an event when you're going on it, but it's not an event to get it out, to get all the gear on, to, you know, pull it out of the drive or the garage. This seems like a bike that is just throw your leg over and go.